of demographic age. They are demographic data. Demographic data are data that is just describing the population of respondents, right? The data are essentially about the respondent. It's not about the subject of investigation. You're right. You know, when you are investigating situations or you are investigating a phenomenon, is oftentimes is people that will respond to those things, right? That will provide insight. Hello, Mr. Dare. Yeah. Ṣé kò ṣáà sí wàhálà mú kọ ní pé kí n pè yín náà ni? Mhm. Okay. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ṣé ẹ ti rí? Ẹ ti rí. Ẹ ṣá ẹ máa ra 6 àbí? Ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ iye tẹ́ fẹ́ rà so that a lọ bẹ̀ á lè fún wọn lówó. Ṣé understand? Ẹ mọ nǹkan tá a máa ṣe, ẹ mọ nǹkan tá a máa ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ iye tá a máa rà. So mo lè send owó sí lady tó ń ṣe POS yẹn kó fún yín ní cash yẹn kí a lè fi kó 6. Ẹ bá mi bèrè 6 wà lẹ́yìn wa yẹn. Ṣé understand? Lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wẹ́dà yẹn. Bọ̀ ẹ mọ iye tá a máa need yẹn. So is it you that they want to video or be the screen? Are you seeing the screen, or is it that the screen is not clear? So all those things that we have done are demographic data. What happened to this AC? We have the HOD. So they are data about information about the respondent, describing the respondent, who they are. You know, for every phenomenon of the investigation, it's people that will respond to it, right? Whether you are investigating traffic issues, economic issues, you know, most times is people, you know. So you want to see the attribute and the characteristics of those people. So all that we have been doing is essentially about those people. So that deals with demographic data analysis and the characteristics of our respondents. And like I said, how many of us have looked at all that we have done prior to this time, and what are the issues, what are the questions? Because you know, today's class is in 2 parts. By 1 p.m., one of my babies, she's in Canada now, she wants to have a session with you guys. Those are very, very rare opportunities. You know, we're just having one-off family meetings. I have babies all over the world, and once in a while we have family meetings like that. And somehow year 5 matter came into our conversation, and she was so excited to say that she wants to have a short session with you. In fact, she was sharing slide with me early this morning. It was a prompt that woke me up. I know my serious care. So she even has a slide. But I think it's very, very good, because for maybe very few of you that are very close to me, I've maybe at some point in time share some of these things with you. And the opportunities are, how will I put it? They are always there, and they are getting bigger by the day. You know, most times you have the opportunity, but you don't have somebody to fill it. Just last year, one of my babies in New Zealand just called me, said, "My daddy, I need a female building student." but of course that has a first class for a fully funded scholarship in the US. So that's where the people comes in, because at that time I can't, and their preference is even a female. So at that time I only have sons that have first class. I don't have daughters with first class. So we couldn't seize that opportunity, because even though they are there, they see those opportunities. The opportunities are in their hands. The funders also have their own requirements. You understand? Because they are not the one funding. They may be the administrator. You understand now? In her own case now, she's a senior lecturer in New Zealand. She did her PhD also outside the country. She finished with first class. In fact, it was her case. Her case was very, very unique in the sense that she was in estate management, but I was a project supervisor from building. Eh, it has never happened before, and I'm not sure it will happen again. That was a very, very exceptional case. I had to make a case. Now, this one is my daughter. Then I have to go and meet the HOD. Please give her to me. Let me be her supervisor. So she did the project in facility management space. So because they know that I came from facility management industry, so they allowed me. They granted. So that I think that's the only project we see supervisor being from another department. So you understand? But of course, her finishing strong was a very, very major concern for me. She can't afford not to have an A in that project. So, and we were able to achieve the first class. And of course, we anticipated the benefit, and we had the benefit because she won a scholarship for a PhD program overseas, and they retained her. So sometimes, so they are there, and quite a number of them are still growing in the system. So she was one that called, but nobody was ready to fill that plug. So, but of course, there's also opportunities for even those that now I'm experimenting with some of my babies that, okay, they are not high flyers. What opportunities are available? So I'm very, very impressed. I know we'll be talking about herself. She didn't make a first class, but she's making tremendous progress. So, and that is why I'm also excited, because, oh, okay, there are even these opportunities, even if you don't have a first class. It's just that the route may be much more challenging. You may have to take up more tasks. So when that time comes, I think by one, we'll be connecting with her. You know, for them, time is money. Every time counts. So, so about what we have done before, if there is any problem before we proceed, who can remind us of what we did last time? Yes. Lumide, Oludemi. Oh yeah, you're raising your hand. Yes, ask your question. According to some, yeah. I'm listening. No. I don't know what you mean by something different. This is what you are talking about. I don't understand for which one. For some. So, what was the sum of your knowledge of the subject? Because he's ranking based on the value of the sum. He's ranking based on something. He's not just ranking anything. So what's the value of your own sum? 2,212. Okay, 221. So what was my own sum? So because that's how to probe into it. Because like I used to say, most times I don't save those things because I don't need them saved. So what was my own? These are slides that I prepared before. It may not even tally with, but I know that it's the same data set. You understand? But oh yeah, now you should know my own now. Unfortunately, I don't even have the sum. 2,121. So what was the sum of other people? What's your own sum? So why is the zone sum 2,200 and something? My my own sum is 2,121. Yours is 2,121. And so, and you said it did not rank first in my own. Mr. Man, whether you did it 1,000,000 times, the highest value will rank first. What we are using that sorting to do is to ensure that we are not looking for which one is highest manually. I don't know whether you understand. You remember that even when I was trying to do the sort, I was still doing a manual check. You remember, because sometimes the sort itself will not even affect the changes that I want. I don't know whether you observe that last time I had to put DDD or something on the first row. You understand? For it to be able to juxtapose those sorts. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oludemi, do you understand what I'm saying? Mr. Man, you ask question. No, do you understand what I'm saying? Because I think the question I'm looking for, nobody is even asking. And that question is very, very important. See, the values. I forgot my pen. These values. This is 0.86, 0.74, 0.78. This cannot come before this one if in ranking. You understand? Even if I do sort and I'm having issues, I have to check. I'll quickly do a quick glance. Even though I've sorted and something is showing like this, I'll quickly check, okay, 0.86, 0.78, 0.77. This cannot be 0.79 because of this thought that I'm seeing here. You understand? Because it cannot be higher than the second. I don't know whether you understand the logic. See, the whole idea in the case of exam, even though it's exam, it requires you to understand how this thing works. Some people will not even use that sort. They will just look at it very, depending if they can scan very quickly. Okay, I can see 0.86. I'll just put my 1. 0.74 is not there. 0.78 is next. Put 2. But because I consider it to be that it's going to waste my time, and I can actually make mistake. That's why I'm using the sort. But what is important is that this total, this is now the overall. Overall in the sense that if you look at the sum, you see that the sum of values is actually an aggregate of the totality of those that responded from corruption management, corruption tech, and project management. You understand now? So that's why this is left as the final ranking position. Of course, that's what we do last, and that's the way we leave our results. You understand? So now say that For example, the conversation, I think I have somewhere where I have discussion. For example, the conversation will be that although generally classroom ambience rank as the most influential factor influencing student performance in research methods, right? It uh, it does not correspond with what corruption management respondent perceive to be the most significant factor. Because in this case, in this particular page, it corresponds only with corruption tech and prayer management responses as the first. But far from it is for corruption management students because it's even 6 out of 7. Do you understand it now? But because on a weight, and that's why sometimes you hear things like things are a game of number about decision. You understand? But because for this particular scenario, when you put corruption technology and corruption management population together, it outweighs corruption management. That's why it suppressed the perception, because this is 255. If you add 82 to 133, you have about 200 and what? I think it's 215. Okay, so we have 215, and when we now multiply that by the number of them that actually rate this to be 5, then you realize that the weight is going to be more. You understand now? That's why you are having it reflecting the decision of these two groups. Because that thing is 5 times the number of people that are talking about 5. You understand? We are going to do something now. And that's going to take us to something that I didn't even want to bother my head doing before. But we are going to do it so that it shows more insight into what we have been doing. Because ordinarily, what we are supposed to do today is to do data visualization using box plot. But I have to go back and do something so that you can understand. Is that the only question? Is that the only observation before we move on? Always answer. If there is yes. Okay, maybe it suggests that a lot of you have not even gone through it. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I want to do something. You must have seen. So this one, this is okay. Look at this. Is what I was trying to say. You can see the explanation. It will change from time to time. You understand? If I'm to write this 1 million times, I will probably write 1 million variants, because each time I'm looking at the data is ministering to me, and I'm using what I'm receiving to write. So that's why in the exam you cannot be writing the same thing. It's not possible. And all those different things, all of them can be right and all of them can be wrong. You understand? And that's the beauty about this course. I just love the course because there is no cramming. The two of you cannot have the same answer. In terms of interpretation, no. Even in terms of the table, because you don't even have the same data set. I don't know if you have seen past question. Have you seen past question? You see things like wrangle the data. Have you read about data wrangling? And you are in my class. And you've seen wrangle the data. And you see wrangle the data. And it's not telling you that it means something. You understand? It's one of the data processing phase in analysis. In which case you are now arranging your data for the purpose of your specific analysis. Ibrahim may be dealing with 1,500 cases. I've shown you that one last week. It goes to 1,501. Then from thereafter, it deletes the remaining one. That's data wrangling. You understand? You are so, so it's just modification of the data to suit your analysis. In some cases, I may give you a data sheet. The data sheet is going to be live. Okay, we have agreed that you bring flash, and okay, those days they used to drop it from the cloud. You might see the data sheet is going to be very large, and I will say wrangle the data to ensure that these variables are what is being used. So you're supposed to delete, because even if you don't delete it, you cannot handle the data. You may have the first 15 columns not relevant for your analysis. So you first of all remove those so that you can see the data more clearly. You understand? And you now save that file as something. And that's what happens in data analysis. You generate several files. You understand now? For the purpose of the analysis that you want to do. So that process of removing, modifying, changing is what we call data wrangling in data analytics. Do you understand now? Those days we will ask students differentiate between data clean and data wrangling. Those ones are dead exam questions. You understand? We will never ask that kind of question again. In fact, the theory part that you will not be doing data analysis, you must do data analysis to answer it. You understand? For example, if I'm asking you a theory question, I may say that from the list of factors, which factor ranked 5th for construction management student, construction technology student, and project management student, and discuss the variation in the factors. Those are typical questions. I'm telling you this because I can say 1001 question. So I will say 5th. In this case, where is 5th? There is even a problem. So here now, there is no 5th. So you have to defend that there is no 5th. You say we don't, for construction management, there is no 5th rank because there is a joint 4th factor. You understand? Namely, so, with weight of so. That's the answer. Because if I ask that kind of question, that there is no 5th, you are lost. You can't find 5th. That is it now. I'm giving you answer now. We have done this one. Now. Sure, you understand? Because there is 2-1, the next one is 3rd. Then there is 2-4, the next one is 6th. So you have, and I'm saying, exactly, tell me about the 5th. About the 2nd. Sure, you understand? So we now come here. This one has 5th. You know, I've asked question. That question now is cutting across the different groups. This one has 5th. This one also has 5th. But the one you are starting from, for some people, that is the end. They are just stuck.
Sir, you made a mistake.
They'll not be saying, sir, can I see you inside the exam? And I'll come and say, and the worst part of it is that on the day of the exam, that's the only day I don't know about data analysis. I'm telling you in advance now. So if you don't say, sir, there is no fees, I say, really? How come? So I'm not helping your situation. So don't call me. You understand now? But trust me, it's very, very interesting and it will help you. You understand? Beyond now, even for your project. I remember I have a son I think that was about 3 years ago, either 2021 or 2022. Somebody was doing a PhD in Netherlands Business School. He's a Nigerian. So, and his study was on Nigeria, construction industry in Nigeria. So he came to Nigeria, collect data and all of that. And he had problem doing the data analysis. And he needed support. So somehow, I don't know, they got to reach out to me. And I was not going to do it because I was traveling out of the country, I think for 3 weeks. I was going to go and work. I was going to the Pan African University in JKUAT, and I was going to lecture. So I know I would not have time. So I was trying to turn it down because, you know, there are some things you don't just say you don't want to do. So I said, I have a trip. So you know what he said to me? He said, doctor, please, any amount that you want to collect, is you that want to do this data analysis. So I just called on my son. I said, can you handle this data? In fact, he was in year 5 at that time, like you people. But I think there was a strike. So I just called him. I said, can you handle this data analysis? Of course, the man had collected this something in paper, in questionnaire. In fact, that was one of the problems for me. I cannot collect paper. I can't be carrying paper to travel. You understand? So we need somebody to translate it into that code sheet. So I now give it to that my son. So I now said, oh, let me just scare them. Let me tell them that, because I don't have time. Let me just tell them that if I'm to even spare time to do it, I'll collect 500,000. And I said, you know, the problem is I'm very busy now. Even if I want to spare time, I'll collect 500,000. You know what the man said? He said, doctor, we pay you 800. That was where I entered the one chance. So I had to call my son, please, can you come and meet me in the house? So he came to my house. I had to put him through. We started doing the sorting because I had a trip for the second day. So, and because I know he's a PhD data, it's very, very sensitive. I told him, I said, please, don't let this thing get missing. So we numbered the questionnaires and he continued. And he was able to make 500K just like that. So he was very happy because Shebi I asked for 500. In fact, the reason is that they said they will pay 800,000. They all paid 500,000 that I asked for. The man said, we pay 800,000. But that 500, I will send it to you now. Send the account number. So I sent the money, I just forwarded it to my son. So when I was there, he was doing the data, he was sending to me, I was sending to them. So, of course, you know, as usual, their level of data analysis was very, very low. They couldn't even interpret. Please help us now. You know, we have increased your fee by ourselves. Help us interpret. So that was how, and I said, okay, Gideon, you know, the remaining 300,000 is for me. I have to interpret all of these things. So you understand? Otherwise, the whole money will have been for him. So it's beyond even the class. It's what you can make money from. And this data analysis, another thing that is unique about it is that even when you learn online, they won't go this deep. I'm sure some of you must have done data analytics, maybe on Coursera or LinkedIn, and you just realize that is not dealing with statistical data. So we want to look at what is responsible. So this interpretation is an art. You know, is even I learned from one of my babies too in the past. It's very easy for her to write. So I realized that it was easier for her to interpret data. To do this is very difficult for her. But to look at it and write stories about it. So that's the art part. To look at something and begin to write story around it, you know, it's another thing. And for some of us, it might be very difficult. But as you practice, you understand, as you practice, and you need to be fast because you do all of this in the exam. Nowadays, because we are trying to de-emphasize dependence on internet, you now to write inside book. Those days, I used to ask my students to type. So I think it was easier, but students were always saying it's more difficult. I don't, maybe because I'm used to typing. But you now, you write on paper. I think that's what you like. So we want to see how those weights varies, what constitute, because we realize that the number additions in what I showed before, right? The combination of the conversion tech and you see that the combination of that one, I think is the previous slide, of these two wasn't as much, even in this one, wasn't as much as for conversion management. But the decision of those people outweighed, in fact, it override that of conversion management respondent. Because conversion management was ranking that factor as 6th. And because these two ranked it as 4th. So I want you to see the mechanism, the principle behind it. And you will also notice that this N keeps changing because these analyses are product of data wrangling. You understand? You see that the responses the number of responses at every point in time is changing. You understand? Because sometimes when I'm doing the analysis, in fact, we built that data over the years. At some point, the data was just maybe 450 respondents. We got to 600. For example, some of my at data collection level, even for this undergraduate, once you are using Google Form, you must have a minimum of 200. Once you are doing online survey. So let me also say that to you. Some of you are already doing your project. Where are your brothers and your sisters? They are doing part-time now. No, I was thinking about you yesterday, and I've forgotten. I haven't forgotten again. Are you a Muslim or a Christian or a pagan? Are you sure? When did you go to church? Eh? This is what I have to think. I don't believe you. Because I was thinking, I was very happy. I said, you that is struggling with getting started, this is a good one, and I've forgotten now. That's what I'm asking. Oh. I'm not praying. No. Pray that I remember. Oh. I think you are the only. You and the. Where is the other guy? Talon also okay. That one should not be missing class now. Let's do what we want to do now. So I want to see how that weight. How that weight. Open your SPSS file. Please open your SPSS file. Let's do that. I want to show you the first principle of how the sum is arrived at. We use the compare means menu, and the compare means menu just brought out the sum. We could get sum, we could get standard deviation, we could get mean, we could get plenty things. You remember from that one that we did last week? Do you remember? But I want to show you what was the background, what that thing that was running underneath SPSS to give us that sum. You understand? So we go to this analyze, right? Then you come to tables. Then we want to do custom tables. Please pay attention, because you might have it in the question. There are questions that I've also asked in the past. Right? Are you there? Are you on this page? Now, these custom tables, I want to use it for the factors. I click on the first one, then shift, then the last one. To select everything, click on the first one, hold down shift, and click on the last one. You understand now? It makes it faster. Are you there? Instead of pressing down control to pick them one by one. Then I'm dragging it into these rows. Can you see? Drag your own. Have you dragged it? Now, because what I'm looking for, look at what I want to do. I want to change. See, I can have summary statistics here too. I can say summary statistics, of course, is count. I want to see the count because I know that I can do other things in other tables, but I can also add other things. I can add sum. See that sum? You understand? Can you see that sum? I can add sum. I can add the maximum and minimum value. Sorry. Hello, Calvin. Yes, I think I might have to come tomorrow. Yeah, I'm here to get the money. You understand? I'm waiting for somebody to send the money. So, but maybe I will come tomorrow myself. All right, thank you. If you click on some and you send it, you understand? If you send it now, it will also, let's even see, let me see how it will play out. You know, we have sent some. So I'll click on some and I say apply to selection. I want to see how it works. Right, let me see whether it is going to bring that out. Then I want to is to add it now, return it, but I want to even see what it will bring out. Then, because these are things that you can explore. You understand? You can see other categories and totals. I have categories and it's telling me values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can say I also want to add maybe another category, right? But that may be operational, whatever. So you go and explore all of these things. But for now, I'm not doing it. I just want you to know that there are plenty things there. Now, I'm coming back here. This one, this default, I want to change it to row labels in columns so that it can be like this. You know, all our things have always been like this. You understand? So that it won't look somehow compounded. Then I can click on OK. I want to minimize. My OK is not still showing. I want to make my interface. Uh, what problem are you having? We look for it. I think it's peculiar to this 20. I think 27 Abi. Do you have people? Eh? I think it's peculiar to 27 because others will ordinarily show. When I was using 26, it's moving it instead of the one is not showing for where. It must show. You see that? You see why you cannot leave this thing to the time of exam, because you can see plenty things that can happen. Some of you will go and borrow laptop on the day of exam. You see why the problem will start from. So I am coming again to do analyze custom tables. It's not still showing.
I don't know if you go to the setting.
Let me check. Let me check this size.
Okay, yeah, that
So we need to figure out. Yes, it does. But it's not right. That's it. No, that's why we need to figure it out now. We need to figure it out now. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. Hey, no noise, oh. No, I want to even see. What's the issue? You said why it's not showing? Now it's going to show now. Because we need to figure out what the problem is. No, it will show. Sure, you understand? So I had to do the display setting. From my display setting, I now change the scale to 125. So you go to your desktop. See if you are using, listen, no, if you are using 27. So before your analysis starts, you may have to do, would you right click, you do display setting. So your display setting by default was on 150. You understand, which is recommended. So you change it to 125. You understand? So with 125, it will show. That's so I now say, okay, I was trying to see. So look at what we are trying to do. So
look at what we are trying.
I don't know about that issue. So see what we are trying to do. So we've done, this is where that sum is coming from. What's the issue, Ibrahim? Ebolupe said she was coming. I did not see her.
Sorry, sir. This category position is not showing.
What version is this one?
37, sir.
And are you sure it's activated?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shift. one we need to troubleshoot it separately because it's supposed to show. Have you changed to 125?
If I change
Or
to
your own did not?
125, the feature in the last class mentioned this particular feature that's only available on this.
Don't worry, when we finish, we'll resolve it. We'll resolve it. Now, can you see this result? So this sum, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Right? So if I move this one, let me move it to Excel. I want you to understand better. Copy. Please pay attention. Oh. Control V, paste. You see that Excel must be your friend. If you have issue with Excel, go and resolve it too. So this is 1, right? This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. You need to look at those titles before you change it to. So I now want to do, so that I won't waste time. I now want to do analyze just the sum this time around. Or let me even use the descriptive. Analyze. Let me use the descriptive. The descriptive will give us sum. So these factors so options, we want to do only sum. That's the only thing that we need in this particular case. So now we have gotten the sum. So I'm copying that one too. Copy. I want to take it to that Excel. See, anytime you are merging data, as a first rule, ensure that you leave one column. You understand? When you want to paste. So that if there are issues, you can actually see where the new data is starting from. Because if I click on here and paste, it will match to the existing table. You understand? And if there are issues, it may be very difficult for me to detach them. So you see where I clicked. You know why I clicked somewhere that appears to be much more higher than the table, from experience, because I know that this new data has its own heading and all of that. You understand? And I need these variables to be on the same line. I need the subject of the knowledge of the subject to be on the same line, because that's what I'm trying to achieve. Otherwise, if I just paste anyhow, it will not be in alignment and it will not represent the information that I intend to represent. Do you understand that now? So now that I have this, I want to remove these two. So I'm particular about this sum. Now somebody should do this for us. Quickly on your calculator, 100 times 1 plus 52 times 2 plus 106 times 3 plus 146 times 4 plus 550 times 5 is on the screen. Let me make it bold. So let's do this. What do you have? 100 times 1 plus 52 times 2 plus 106 times 3 plus 146 times 4 plus 550 times 5. Can you see that that is the sum? So that is the rationale behind the sum. You understand? So that sum, what SPSS have done is that if you are doing that sum based on the category of respondent, it will just go and do that for the various groups if you are not doing the total. You understand now? Yes, that is the sum. You understand? That's the overall weight. That in this case now, even in overall, for example, if I had wanted to do for corruption management, for example, I will have filtered. Then I will now see that, okay, the number of people that disagree, because even though in this particular analysis now, the rank, the one that is ranking highest is knowledge of the subject based on the sum of values. You understand? However, 100 people still strongly disagree that is influencing their performance. Do you get the logic now? But because the weight of their disagreement is not as much as 550 persons that strongly agree, because the weight of it's just like CGPA, cost unit times point. You understand? It's not as critical as this 550 times 5. Because this 100 times 1 is just 100. But 550 times 5 is what? Do you understand it now? What did you give us? So you can now see, even though 100 people are saying we don't want, but with this 550 people that have said that this is it, you can see their weight. Because for those 100, their weight remains 100. You strongly disagree is 1. Are you getting it now? So that is the weight. And that's why data analytics requires a lot of things. So this is where the sum is coming from. And that's why sometimes when we look at that previous something, even though the number of those respondents are large, it does not translate to the fact that their position will be the dominant position, because it goes just beyond the population. Do you understand the dynamics now? Now, this one, if I want to, what I want to do is that, but thank God that year 5 exam has been moved forward. I will prepare slides that will show all these things that we have been doing. You understand? That will present a formal request about them, so that you have an idea of, because this one on its own is a request. You understand? I might say, show the distribution of frequency of responses. You understand? Distribution of frequency of responses for the following factors, from the lowest scale to the highest scale. You know, this is the lowest scale, this is the highest scale. So apart from the sum, we are seeing who and who are, what is the population of people that says what. And the interpretation will be different. Because, like I said, there's no way we ask any analysis. If I say you should analyze your name, you must explain it. It will go with explanation. And that explanation carries higher mark. Because that explanation is the ingenuity, is you, is the originality in you. Because I am a lecturer, I want to actually measure the intelligence of that student. The table may not be right, but the student will still pass that question. But the caveat is this: not an error with n. I'm always critical with this, because your n is unique to you. In fact, the first thing I mark is your n. Do you understand it now? If your n is wrong, you have failed the exam. That one is not, because you have probably solved another person's problem, not yours. You get the logic now. That means you have not attempted your question. You know, there is this joke that is that somebody's CRK exam that somebody should write about Jesus Christ. And he said, who am I to write about my Lord and my Savior? I would rather write about John the Baptist. And he started writing about John the Baptist. So that one is 0. You understand that? Because that is stupidity. So you need to be very, very careful with that N. Because that N is what sets you apart. In fact, most times when you see my questions, I will say, please boldly write your N on your answer booklet. After writing your matric number, that N is the next thing that is important. You get it now? So I think that is clear, Abi. Then I want you to read about data cleaning. Because in your exam, I might decide to put problems inside your data. So you need to clean it. You understand? What do I call problem? I will always tell you everything I can that might happen. The idea is not to give you problem. It's for you to be able to handle real life situation, because it happens real life. You understand? For example, while you are entering your data, let me show you something. While you are entering your data, you mistakenly entered. Maybe you're already tired, right? And Ibrahim, okay, and here you mistakenly entered 55 instead of 5. You know, it's a problem. You went to type 5, you typed 5 twice. You know what this means? It's a problem with that data. So in data cleaning, these are the things that we watch out for, right? We need, because when you are doing your analysis, something odd will be happening. For example, if I run this data analysis and I do minimum and maximum value, others will be having 1 to 5, minimum 1, maximum 5. This one we have maximum of 55. And the response of the people are just from 1 to 5. So I may decide to put 33 instead of 3. So that's where data cleaning comes in. You are made to look at your data. One of my very students that came today now, that's the only thing that we did, just to check for errors in the data.
So,
yeah.
It's easy to play something like 33 and 55. But what
Yeah.
if you have like 31 or 43?
The same thing.
How will you
If
know?
your range is between 1 to 5, you cannot have 31.
Yes, but how do you know what the mistake is? Is the mistake or is the mistake?
So in that case now, you will remove the data. Exactly. So that means, that is invalid data. Once you cannot decipher what is right, whether it's 3 or 1, you understand? So that is an invalid data. You know, even in you prepare your mind. Those of you that are going to do questionnaire paper, you understand? And you ask them, oh, please kindly tick the one that applies. You now see gender, male, female. Whether your response is a drunkard, you will pick the 2. It's invalid. And you probably do not have opportunity of meeting the person one-on-one to know whether it's a male or a female. Maybe you've used field assistance to help you to distribute. So that's invalid. Just expunge that one so it will be blank. And that's what accounts for sometimes. You see that N is let me go back to that place so that you will see. That even reminds me. See, look at it. Look at Emma Paruo. Now, look at N for this study. N for this study is N for this study is 954. You understand? But you notice that for availability of teaching aids, We have just 938. That means there were some invalid data or no response. Exactly. So it's either invalid or no response. Maybe the person, when we are collecting data, had put 9. We say 1 to 5 as the put 91. Or he did not respond to it. That's why you're having this. You have 920 also. That's 34. Yes, I think that's 34, Abi. 34 in this case are either invalid or missing.
So would we have to explain that to why our N is 938 and 920?
The question will suggest what your interpretation should be directed at. Because you don't have time to explain everything. But you can see the robustness or the fact that your discussion can be unlimited. Yes. It's only that particular variable that is invalid now. Of course, shebi these people also responded to these ones. You understand? It's only in this, just this line and this line. You just treat it as a single case. Not that you are discarding the entire something. You understand? It's just that particular response that is not tallying. The other one, maybe that time inside is seeing double. You understand? You just remove that particular.
Okay, that's why you have varying.
Yes. Because it's the same group of people that responded to everything. So we need to get somewhere today, because next week we are starting R. Because I have set your question, R is there.
Hey.
Ah. Bolupe has asked a very, very brilliant question. But that question is 100% theoretical. You know why? You see, in real life data, we realize that you are likely going to require multiple channels to get to complete your data. Hello, Abib. Yeah, I'm in NPM class. NPM class upstairs. I'm in a class there. Yes, you can come and see me. Yeah. Hey, what happened? No, my phone did not ring. My daughter is calling the other line. You know that second blow. In fact, I think I need to put because that WhatsApp is always standing. So we are going to join. We are going to join Anu. Ah, see this phone. So we are going to join. We are going to be joining. Listen to me, oh. We are going to join Anu so that when she is done, we can then continue. Which one? It says you can see that one is saying invalid. Check it from the output now. You see something there in the output. It's always not useful. Ahead. Hello, my baby. Can you hear me? Yeah. How are you today? Okay. Let's see. We are trying to. Okay. They want. Let me turn the system so that maybe you can see them. They want you to see them.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let me first of all, I think to help them, I need to adjust. Okay. Are you seeing yourself in the? Are you seeing yourself in the smaller?
Maybe we can send a link to the class so that those that are not here will join.
I don't know about that one. No.
Alrighty.
Can you
Good
see?
afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
So Anu, can I go for 30 minutes?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
We will be done before that. Hello. Thank you for letting me know that I can see you. I know it's been quite a long and stressful day. But myself and Dr. Farami, I hope everyone can hear me. Can the last person in the back raise his or her hand? Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. Hi. So, okay. So, myself and Dr. Farami, like I was saying, thought it would be a good idea to just speak to you guys, have somebody who has walked in your shoes, not far away like some of our lecturers, but at least I graduated from the department, what, less than 10 years ago. So it's still somewhat relevant. So let me share my screen so you can see the slide I've prepared for you this afternoon. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, I'm in here and okay. Um, can you guys see my screen? All right. Okay, so let's start from beginning. And you can see it clearly. Let's see. Looks like I'm out of screen. Present. Okay. 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 All right. All right. So, well, title of my slide for formality purpose is your story enabler, leveraging present knowledge areas, what you're currently learning, what you've learned so far for your future endeavors. So, Dr. Farami, let me know that this is currently year 5 building. Am I right? Can someone closer to the speak up because I can't really hear from my file, please.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so it's year five, it's not year one. We won't start with orientation, it's not FES or whatever it's called now, 101. So this is year five. You guys are in your final year and you're moving out into the real world, so to speak. So I know that even as we cannot be year fives, there's like OG year fives and the odogus in class that already have figured out what they plan to do with their lives after school. But I designed this particularly for those people who were like, or who are like me when I was in your shoes. Um, Let me start by with my introduction. So, my name is Anolu Abolajoko Waje. I studied for my BSc, MSc in BSc Building, MSc Construction Management, and I'm a project manager. I've worked in construction and I've worked in product development in the capacity of project manager for, well, the past years after my graduation from the University of Lagos. And I'm currently studying to become a data analyst. And also, like I've put it there, I'm also a proud mama of two children, two children. So, like I said, I'll go back to what I started with. Purpose of this um, talk is to talk to or just help people that are that were in my shoes when I was once there, right? In the sense that you're about to finish school. Yes, there's NYC here there, but all know that there's this place in our hearts whereby there can be so many uncertainties, right? We've been in school for like how many years? Thank God we finally reached the final lap, right? But we know what we're feeling inside, the levels of certainty, how difficult it has been so far. Because I know that it is like it can be very, very challenging. The journey so far has been challenging, right? So that is the purpose of this gathering, of this talk. We'll be talking about the courses that we've studied so far and where we are right now and how we can move it forward. We'll talk about the struggles that building can be. We'll talk about the importance of what we've learned in school and how we're going to leverage it beyond school. We'll talk about leveraging skills acquired in the industry as we move on in the career, if we choose to continue with the career. And if we decide we're not continuing with the career in construction, how can you pivot to other careers? And then we can have a question and answer session once we're done. We'll just make it as brief as we can. So, okay, talking about, yeah, did someone call me?
No, ma, continue, ma. No, ma.
Can I have one representative that will relay whatever message that needs to go back and forth?
Are you sure this is what I'm supposed to?
Is that can I have one person there?
Are you sure we're not muted?
Adru, are you there?
Yes, ma. I think it's slow. Yeah, it's slow.
We'll be back after this short break.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I can hear you now.
It was probably a network issue. On our video.
Yeah. It was a network thing. I can't see the screen though. Yeah, Adura.
Yes.
I know Adura, right? Okay, Adura. Hi.
Hi, ma.
Okay, so I will need you to I would need you, and you can also delegate somebody so we can communicate with the class.
All right, ma, no problem. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly well.
Okay.
Perfectly well. Yeah. Okay, I'll just try to run through this. So if anybody has questions for me, we can just go straight into the uh, Q&A session.
All
All
right.
right. So like I was saying, we'll start with, let's talk about these courses, right? Because I know that it can seem very like whatever it is that they are teaching right now hasn't made any sense whatsoever so far to some of us. So, well, maybe I should ask you the course codes and the course, because I know, well, the course codes have changed since I was there. I remember taking we won't mention any lecturers' names for the sake of it. Let's put that out there, leave that out. But I remember taking courses like project management in year three, right? Who remember what's the course code for project management now? It was a year three course when we took it.
Is it? I think it's project planning you're referring to. 324.
Project what? Project planning.
Yes, project planning.
You guys have a course called project planning now. Interesting.
Was it Professor Idoro that took
Uh
yours?
okay. We're not mentioning lecturers' names. But yes, it was that course.
It's
Now,
project planning.
I hope there is no lecturer there.
No.
Oh, it's called project planning now. Interesting. So
Well, with you,
I
ma.
cannot
You
even
can go on.
I cannot just mention course title again. Yeah. All right. So anyway, who had a blast in that class? Show of hands for having a blast in that class. Like that class was perfect. It was the most interesting lecture you ever attended. Show of hands, because I know
Ma, I
some
hope you are being
they usually.
sarcastic because it was not to.
Oh, let's start from there, because I had conversation with some people and they said, oh yeah, they actually understood what they learned in that class, and I was like, let me keep quiet. But me, when I attended that class, show of hands for people that did not understand Shinbai in that class.
Ma, we're plenty.
Can you show of hands? Thank you. At least this shows that I was not alone, or I'm not alone. Was not alone in my disconnect. Now, fast forward to many years leaving um Unilag, and come to find out that there's so many things that you would do in your career, in your life, that you need project management. Now, this is just one example of courses that are very important after you graduate, that you really, while you're in school, you really have a problem connecting the course to the importance of moving forward in life. But I'm here to tell you, all those courses are not useless. BSc building that you'll be graduating with come this time next year, right, is such an important degree. And why am I emphasizing? Because I will not, like, I'm just being plain with you. BSc holder to BSc holder, having walked in your shoes once upon it, it seems very, like, very wild. I finished school and I was even just going to throw away my certificate, because that was how useless it seemed to me. Like, what am I using this thing to do? It's not acting. It's not acting like. It's not looking like something uh productive, right? But what did I leave school for? I found out that project management is a path you can tow. You can go into estimation. If you remember, well, now that course titles have also changed, but if you remember taking estimation, when I was in school, it was Professor. What's this? How can I forget my supervisor's name?
Sammy, tell us.
Professor Odusami that took that course. Is it still the same? It's still the same
Yes,
course?
ma. Yes, ma.
Same. Remember, it's yeah, estimation, right? It's a year five course. Year
Yes,
five
ma.
first semester. Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma.
exactly. So there's those courses. Yeah. So we have estimation. We have and the many other things that came beforehand. As CGs, not useless. I tell you sincerely, they are not useless. It's only in Nigeria that there's massive segregation that here if and the civil engineer can't like many of us in the next 5 to 10 years will find ourselves out of the shores of Nigeria and even Africa as a whole. Now that's when we will find out that many of the things that we learned in building, all we just need to do is add one or two extra things. And guess what? You are in a completely different field in construction and you are making full cash. Just like we want to hear. How can this degree earn me money, right? This degree will earn you money if you actually follow through with everything is in process, obviously. So, okay, these are my case studies. Talk about my case studies. I've mentioned the importance of this course and the opportunities that lie. I will not like I will be very honest with you. Talking using my own self as like I did mention, I didn't have any idea whatsoever what I was gonna do. Oh yes, I did have interest. Can you hear me? It's frozen
Yes, ma. We
from my
can hear
end.
you.
Hello?
We can hear you, ma.
Mine is frozen. Oh, okay, we're back. All right, all right. Uh, as I was, yeah, as I was saying, as I was saying, we've got moving forward in, as time went on, I realized that
You
there's
guys
so many
now.
things that I learned in class that are useful.
Hey, Devil,
Please, who has strong network?
why can't we even all be
Ibrahim, is
this
your
meeting?
network strong?
Why can't they just send the Zoom link to our group chat and everybody will stay where they want?
What were classmates? Can you hear me, please?
Wait. Okay. Sorry, ma. We're trying to connect to a more stable network.
Oh,
What up?
Okay. Ah, even if I copy it, his WhatsApp is not here, so I don't know how. Oh,
Let me see. Let me see.
it's here. Wait, Telegram.
Or put it on the Google Docs and share it.
Okay.
Allow. Hey, what if you guys watch it should not see?
I want to. Who said it's not sharing?
Who share it?
Okay.
Just close this thing so you don't have to worry.
Hello, ma. Can you hear us? Hello, ma.
See me,
ah,
I, is that Sawaji?
yes.
all right. Okay, so
Ma, can you hear us now?
yeah, he is, and he needs to mute himself. Yes, I can hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you perfect. Could you
Hello,
please mute yourself, sir?
Sawaji.
Thank you, sir. Okay. So you can hear me up. That's beautiful. Yes, that's my husband, by the way. To join. All right. So can you see my screen? I hope I'm still sharing my screen. Can you see my screen perfectly well?
Yes, yes.
He said we should not share it.
My that in the slide.
Tell them that it's not better for them to send the link to our group chat and everybody can be present that they want.
Sort of so up from there.
Network is so terrible.
What? Hello?
Azura, our mouth.
Hello.
Hello?
Ma.
Can you
Yes,
hear me?
ma. We can hear you, but the network is terrible. I don't know if it's possible that the Zoom link be sent to us so that everybody can just connect on their various devices instead of through Dr. Farami's.
I'm about to do that.
No, please, oh, don't share it. It's Sawaje that I'm calling.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody. Wait, is this network thing terrible?
Can you hear me just fine?
Hello, Ma, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so they can leave. All right.
So we can share.
All right. The message to share with others.
You want to share from Dr. Farami's laptop?
Okay. You guys want to leave?
If it was a Mac now, that's airdrop.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. That's okay. Okay, you can share. You can share if you please, if that works for you. Yeah, what and anybody that looks forward to the screen names. Adura's name. So the signal is really bad. When we spent. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well enough? Hello. Mm. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, but we're trying to share the
Okay.
link.
The link.
Yes.
Okay. Have you been able to do that?
We're still trying to.
Okay. You know what? For the easiest or fast method, let me.
Well, no, I'm not opening this Telegram chat. Uh-huh.
Okay, I use different network help. Okay. Have you posted the link? Let me see if I can drop it in the chat box because I'm able to get the link. Okay.
Can someone give me their email? Anybody with stable network? Anybody?
Adura,
Ma'am?
Adura. Okay. Dr. Karim's laptop, right?
Yes. Ma,
Okay. Let me
can you
see.
call your phone number, please, so that you can just send it to my WhatsApp?
Okay, sure. 705 0705 724
724.
6.
Sent it to Adura already.
Okay.
Oh, okay. My network is bad. Please, can you connect me to yours?
Yeah. All right, so just let me know when to continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it has. Thank you. What? Hmm? It's not. I haven't gotten it. Like, it hasn't landed on my WhatsApp. Has it?
Where's the number?
It's Awade that sent it. It hasn't landed.
Why did you ask me to give you connect to my why is this doing this? Connect to mine.
Can't find you.
That's the end.
Okay, that's true. Uh-huh.